Watch me you well on Sentinel's View. Okay, so the video, I titled this video, Is Derrick Jackson Really a Simp? Okay, there's a reason why I said that, because going back, a few years back and such, a lot of us, we would watch a lot of Derrick Jackson's videos. Sometimes, we would think like, wait a minute, especially me, I would say, wait a minute, a lot of this stuff is not connecting. I'm like, it's either this guy is on another planet or he's lying. Those are two things that popped up in my head. It was to the point where I was dating someone and she would even send me videos of him. And I would say, why are you sending me videos of this guy? He's not saying nothing that's good. He's lying. Because I started picking up on it. I said, wait a minute, this guy is lying. Until it started to dawn on me and say, wait a minute, this is not connecting. After a while, throughout the years on my Facebook, I would expose him and say, you know what, this guy is, he's lying, this guy is simping. And I caught on, and I said, wait a minute, okay, this guy's not simping. I said, you know what, for the record, he is not simping. What he is brilliant. And I'll say why. And I'll tell you why. Because a lot of YouTubers, especially around, for me, when I saw about 5 years ago, people were really getting into other doctrines like Egyptology and such, praising black women. The black woman is a goddess. She's, all this stuff. She's a queen. Okay, and she could do no wrong, right? And I started to notice that and say, wait a minute. I've seen other guys trying to do the same thing. They would hype up black women to the point where they would shame the men. And I said, okay. So even listening to guys like Tommy Sotomayor, those type guys, I would listen to them. And for me, and I could be wrong, from the times I've listened to Tommy Sotomayor, what I took from his messages was he wasn't bashing black women as a whole. I think from what I picked on is he was bashing the ones who were ratchet. And that's what I picked up as. It wasn't, I don't think it was just black women as a whole, but the ratchetness, okay, and those kind of thoughty behaviors, things like that, I see him really get on. And truthfully, I didn't have any faults of that from what I've seen. But to get back to Derrick Jackson, as far as I know, I've never seen anyone do the reverse, the opposite of what these type of Sotomayor kind of guys were doing, except for him. Like I said, other guys would try to big up black women by shaming black men, but not as much magnitude as Derrick Jackson did. And he was brilliant. From what I understand too, he even made books, bestsellers. I don't know the bestsellers, but I'm just saying he just made books, whatever, which he sold, and he made a lot of money off simple-minded women, black women, pretty much. Those who are gullible, or yeah, that's what it is, gullible, okay? Gullible black women. We have to be honest with this, okay? And he even had it down to the science, because that he marketed his brand pretty well. Because number one, I didn't know he was 6'5". I didn't know that. He's 6'5", right? Muscular build, decent looking fellow, no homo here, whatever. Decent looking fellow. He had it down to a science. So it matched. He was the ideal man that a lot of women want. So he sold that, and they bought it. Brilliant. Okay? So yes, he is not a simp. He's a smart businessman, and he's a con man. Okay? And we know he's a con man. We know that. But he's also a smart businessman too. You gotta give him his credit on that. Now, I don't agree with that kind of a business aspect because it's based on deception. But as long as you're gonna buy it, then it's okay. Because he's no different than a dude in a club who is, what's the word? Okay, let's say if you had a girl in the club and you turn your back and he's hating. So yeah, he's telling like, yeah, this dude's no good. You can do better with me. Yeah, come for real, man. That's what he does. That's what he did. And you know what? From what I believe, throughout the years of him, doing these type videos, I'm sure he had other girls besides the one that he got caught. I'm sure he had other girls. And who knows, maybe as time goes on, we're going to see more. Because they fell for him. He was their hero. He was the hero. But the question I ask is, how many relationships did he ruin because of simple-minded women who listen to his theology, or whatever you want to call it, his teachings or whatever? How many? And I'm sure he ruined many. How many women have left good men just listening off the bull he was teaching, the bull-faced lies? We bought it, okay? They bought it. So I'm not the one to be laughing at him, whatever, because at the end of the day, I know he's messed up, okay? That's his business. But I always tell women, especially on my Facebook, the person who tells you the truth is the person that loves you, okay? It's not the person that lies to you, because the person that lies to you really hates you. And truthfully, he does. Because if he can lie to you, then he hates you, because you can't correct yourself. That's like saying a parent. Okay, so when a parent sees that his children have done wrong, let's say if he's a good, responsible parent, don't you think that parent would correct the child? Right? But basically, what Derrick Jaxn has done is, like, he has been the parent who has two children, a boy and a girl, and he always called out the things the boy did, okay? So the boy broke the tables, the boy broke this, broke that. But if that girl has not been corrected, okay, does she know that she's doing wrong? That's the question. How do you know that you're doing wrong if you're not being corrected? That's the question, okay? And that's what Derrick Jaxn has done. He has sold that type of thing, which made women not accountable for their own actions, okay? That it's all the men's fault. Just believe it's all men's fault, where you can't correct. Therefore, guys like him really hate you. He's also included with what I say, he's included with the simping black pastors. And this is why a lot of black men have left the church. And you can see right now, a lot of black men have left the church. It's to the point where if there are men, it's probably the either feminized men, women who rule the home over the men, okay? They're not patriarchal men, okay? They're in that matriarchy, okay? Like I said, feminine type men, and maybe a few masculine men, but a lot of black men, we caught on to the nonsense that, and I said it in my other videos, a lot of these simping black pastors, they are working for white supremacy too, because they know different than Derrick Jaxn, okay? And that's why the women, they are packed in the church, packed. And you can look around the church, and you can see how much women are in the church compared to men. And that should be a key sign that, you know what, this is a simping pastor. And a lot of them pastors be doing wicked stuff, and I don't have to name it, and y'all know the type of stuff they do to these simple-minded women that follow them. So he's no different than the simping black pastor. He's no different. He's brilliant. Okay, so that's in conclusion. Derrick Jaxn is not a simp. Okay, he's a good con man. He's a good businessman, because people he sold a lie. And for my belief, I still believe that they're going to follow him, because even with that pastor that died, right now I can't recollect. I think, the pastor that was doing the homosexual acts, for those who are watching the videos, y'all know what I'm talking about. If they were able to forgive him of that homosexuality, Eddie Long, if they were able to forgive him on his homosexual acts and stuff, then I'm sure they're going to forgive Derrick Jaxn for his infidelity, and they're going to keep on following. Why? Because this is the time and the age where the Bible is saying that people will not listen to sound doctrine, but they will have itching ears, okay? Itching ears. And that means that people would they will follow people with sugar-coated teachings, things that's pleasing to the ears, even if it's based on deception. And they will not listen to the truth. And that's why people hate the truth in this time of age. That's why when it comes to people like Kevin Samuels, if that was Kevin Samuels caught in that scheme, you would have heard all over social media. They would have been on him. Why? For the most part, for those who do watch him, and I gotta admit, from the times I watched him, Kevin Samuels, some of his videos, whatever, they're great videos, and I can't say he's lying. Now, maybe down the line, other things people may not agree with, I may not agree with. Okay, yeah. But for the most part, I give him his props when props are due. Okay? But if that was him, they would have ran with that, a lot of these women. But because this guy is catering towards the women, they're going to forgive him. And this is why this whole Christianity is dangerous. It's very dangerous to the point where, we're quick to forgive who we want to forgive. And we're going to pound those that we feel that don't deserve forgiving. And until we break out this Christian spell, you're going to see a lot of hypocrisy in the black community. And this is why, as a race, we can't grow. We can't grow because we feel that the best way to deal with each other is by hurting each other and by lying and deceiving each other.